Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our series on using automation and BeamNG to make GT cars. So today we are in the mid 1990s, 1996. This would have been a little bit before I started driving in the real world. Would have been a little young. Didn't mean I couldn't like mow the lawn or anything like that. And we're building GT cars. For those of you not familiar with GT cars, basically you want to have 2+2 seating. You want to have a front engine. You want to have usually rear-wheel drive, and you're looking for a coupe body. Generally, you're looking for maximum performance with maximum comfort kind of mixed together. So that's kind of the general theme there. So we're going to go ahead and see what we can do as far as that goes. Our last experience was in the 1980s, and the 1980s produced the best version of our GT attempts so far. Might not be the most attractive of all the ones we've tested, but it definitely was the nicest. So what we need to do is we need to find a car that's a little, what's the best way to describe it? A little nose front heavy kind of a thing like that. This is not going to do very well for us. Also, it's a 0-0 car. These are probably what we're going to get stuck driving. I really don't want to drive one of these, but like I also do you want to try one of these instead? Oh, I'm so torn. I mean, we did one of these in the 80s, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to do another one. But I think we're going to end up with something like this, and I just going to have to kind of suck it up. Believe it or not, these things have a massive wheelbase, which really, really surprises me. So we'll go with the 2.6, and I don't want a convertible, though. What do you got to do? Kind of a thing like that. I can go with the stuff above it, but could you imagine a GT car that's got a butt like that? I don't think so. That just death by hatchback. Death by hatchback, everybody. I mean, this is okay too. I mean, like at least it's a newer design, and even this thing is kind of nice, but the wheelbase on this thing is ridiculous. So, okay, we're going with that one. Too bad. All right, so it is the 90s, which means we get carbon fiber. Yay! And that also means we're going to get other things we can do with this as well. So we've been doing space frame this entire time. It's been excellent. It's really done a nice job as far as keeping our weight down, which is awesome. So let's see here. We could do a space frame. It's actually going to be a little heavier. The ladder's going to be a lot heavier, kind of a thing like that. Semi-space frame is actually, I think, going to be the lightest. It's a nice mix between different things. We're going to be doing a front longitudinal engine. Again, ew. So ugly. At least it's going to have a big spoiler on the back. Double wishbone, multi-link. That's going to work well. Oh, we have a push rod finally. Push rod suspensions are really, really cool. The big thing with them is even though they're more expensive, they're just a little bit lighter, which is kind of nice. And we got a body that looks like this, which it's a good place to start. Engine, we'll go ahead and design our engine again, a V16 1990s version. So we'll go ahead and now create this one. We'll kind of stick to the same concept we've done this whole time. We have some new block materials, which is awesome. And we also, of course, have the ability to kind of customize this. This is going to be our high revving engine. So we're going to do something very, very scandalous here. We're actually going to go with a 675 here, and I will do 75 here, which gets this bizarre 5.3 liter V16 engine, which it's offensive. It's so weird. Who would do that? That just doesn't make sense. But the reason we're doing it here is actually because this is going to give us the ability to essentially, let's just say, rev it up a little bit. And you'll see what I mean when we get there. So these things are pretty much things we can't change. So we'll leave right across the bottom there, which is good enough for us. Compression, oh, are you kidding me? It's going to be like 10.5 to 1. We're going to use VVT and VVL. We're going to jack the profile on this thing up to Legends. And I have a feeling this is going to be about 7,000 or 8,000. I can't estimate where this number is actually going to be, but I can tell you this number right here is probably going to be about there. I don't know. We're going to have to probably fits with it a little bit, but we'll see. Nope. Let's see, injection, direct injection. We're going to do bi-cylinder. We're going to have a nice high performance. We're not going to do race. I mean, if you look at it, it's so pretty and everything. It's just not necessary. Premium is fine for us. That's good for me. We're going to do this. We're going to do bypass valves, dual, pop, pop, pop. And then we have version 1. All right, so first problem, as we can see here, is our engine explodes, which it's not very desirable if you ask me. Let me go ahead and do that because we have valve float. Valve float is a function of having springs that aren't tight enough. It's easy to fix that, though, because all we can do is wander back to the valve page, and we can just tighten up the springs. So if we make this a little bit stiffer, ah-ha-ha! Hey, now we're talking. Also, you see a little whoop you're getting right here in the power curve? That means your torque is dying. That usually means your springs are too tight, but we can fix that in a minute. So we need to come over here to stress and see what we have as far as limitations goes. And our limiting factor today is crankshaft speed of 9,300 RPM. So we're going to crank that up to 9,300, which is going to be our new red line for this one, which... That's so high. You have no idea. If you've never driven a car that has RPMs that are high, like really high, you're missing out because it's an experience. It's an experience. All right, so our cam profile here, we can actually reduce this a little bit, which is going to give us a little bit more low-end torque, which is, I want it right about there. Let's see here. VVL is fine. I'll shrink this a little bit. That looks good. 612 RPM, that's enough. That's a lot. Like, that's a lot. And again, we could play with that a little bit if we wanted a little bit better quality here. Taking a look here, you can see that we're starting to suffer a little bit on the higher end. I think the spring's a little bit stiffer. That's not going to do much for us. It's actually going to hurt our performance. We actually got to open up those springs a little bit. I don't want it to drop off too much, though. Like, you get my feels. See how we're getting that nice flat bit of horsepower up here? That's going to be very useful for us in a racing situation, if that's what we were doing with this car, which, again, this is supposed to be a GT car. I think it's plenty. That looks pretty good right there. 11.5. Now we'll go over to flow and we'll fix all of our damage we did here. We did a great job. We actually did a really good job. I'm actually proud of us. Nice job, everyone. Go team. Go team. So that's going to get us that last couple RPM. There it is. Ta-da! That's what I wanted right there. Nice. So we'll open up the exhaust a little tiny bit here. We'll open up the headers just a little tiny bit here, which is going to get us about 617, 621. We can open up the intake manifold just a little bit more here, and that gets us 622.5 horsepower, which... Not gonna lie, that's a lot of horsepower. This is gonna be a very nice car, and that's a little too much compression, but beautiful. Ta-da! So this gets us, let's see here, 298, which is nothing, but it gets us up to 412, and we're also a 622 horsepower engine, which is plenty. But look at the RPM, 9,300. Oh, this thing's gotta be so loud. All right, so this is good. I'm happy with that. Happy with that. Oh, yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's take a listen. That sounds so wrong. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. All right, let's head back over here. So I don't really want a convertible. I just want like a two-door coupe. Is it two-door? Hey, we got one. Nice, two-door coupe. And we have this thing, and one of the more amusing things I could do here is if I lift up the bonnet real fast. Oh, let's fix that. Let's see, we're all-wheel drive. We are a manual. We're a 6-speed manual. That sounds good to me. Electric LSD. That's going to be nice and drivable. Look at how big the engine is. There's absolutely no room around that thing at all. All right, I'll put the bonnet back on. Put that, looks good to me. We'll go ahead and get some paint. I'm not going to make any comments here. You know what I'm going to say. Ba. Looks good to me. Pirachu. Is that like Pikachu? Pirachu? I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things. All right, let's go throw that one on there too. Looks good to me. Like it. And I'll go to our fixtures. We've been doing a round theme this whole time. It's the 90s. We got to get fancy. So I'm looking for something that's got us that round look to it, but it's still a little bit more modern. And that is definitely off of a 90s car. You can tell that's a 90s car. One thing I do want to adjust those. Oh my God, what have I done? Oh boy. Let's see if I can fix that a little bit. Oh God, what have I done? Here we go. So now we got these huge eyes on this thing. And now what I'll do too is I will make it a little bit. We're going to put a thing on it. Because we can. And of course, you don't know what I'm referring to when I say thing, but trust me, you'll know what I mean when you look at it and go, oh, a thing. And I'm like, yeah, a thing. You know what I mean? A thing. It's just kind of one of those things. All right, let's see here. Boop. Let's grab this one. And we'll stick this right here. And that's going to be all sorts of chunky looking. See, I told you, a thing. Look at that. Oh, need something right here as well. So let's grab this one right here. And that's nice. That's nice. This thing's coming out pretty well so far. There we go. You need to know that you're driving a Legend. Have you ridden a Legend? Yes. There we go. Let's go ahead around the... Oh, ew. We'll fix that. I'm sorry. I'll fix it. I swear I'll fix it. Actually, one thing we do need to do here is we need to put a little bit of a lip on it because, hey, let's keep going with the ugly. There we go. Good. Let the hate flow. All right, that looks pretty good to me. All right, I like that. All right, let's swing around the back. Obviously, we're going to stick a wing on this, but we need to put some lights on it first. Looks like we're going to have to do like a vertical sideways thing here, so I'm hoping there's something kind of tall that we can just sort of shove there. Obviously, you can do anything you want here, but it wants to be vertical. Oh, imagine that, how hideous that would be. Oh, these are cool. Oh, let's try one of these. Let's stick that. It's going to look terrible, though. I don't think so. That's not gonna work. Let me grab this. Let me stick this here. Let me do one of these, maybe. Oh my gosh, the chief head of Divine Universal would like to have a word from me for my choice of everything here. All right, can we go a little more? Nope, can't go a little more. Can I go this way and go a little more? Can I do that? Hey. It looks like it's sad. I've made a sad car. This is bad. This is real bad. All right, let's keep looking. I don't like any of that. Let me go back to these. We use these back in the 70s. Oh, there we go. I hate how indented they are, though. That's just, let's try something like this, maybe? Hey, we found something that's, it's painful. It looks great in this side. It looks terrible on the other side. Of course, we can rotate this a little tiny bit to try to make that a little bit better. I mean, it should look decent. Okay, nobody pay attention to the side of this, please. It's too embarrassing. It's too embarrassing. All right, let's go back around front. Let's grab ourselves a handy dandy little hood scoop because science. I'll grab this one right here. There we go. Nobody needs to know that that's there. This thing is so cool. And oh my God, what happened? All right, that looks pretty good so far. Let's grab ourselves a sunroof. We've done this the whole time, so we want a sunroof again. We'll go ahead and make it nice and large. Yeah, there we go. All right, we have a lip. We need a spoiler. So actually, we're going to put a wing on it. So our 1980s wing was like a wing like this. So we could stick with that theme. I guess we're not going to stick with that one. So I'll bring this in a little bit here. And we get something that looks like this, which we're going to roll with it, and we're just going to say that looks awesome. All right, we'll go ahead and pop a fuel cap on it. Looks good. Grab some handles. Oh, we've been using these chunky things, so why not? Chunky things employed. And I like one kind of mirror. I'm sorry, everybody. I know these are so boring, but I love these mirrors. All right, looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good. Need to put this in. Ew. All right, we're going to be Michigan once again. Looks good. We're going to go ahead and get a bumper bar. No, we already have a decal. There's not a turbo. That's fun. Let's see, wheels. We want something nice. Sports car. Let's try this. Okay, these need to be a higher profile tire, but we'll get there. And exhaust tips, of course. So we want a nice dual tip with surrounds. We're going to stick this here. And we're also going to duplicate that to the other side, give it a quick little wiggle. And we're just going to confirm that nothing is overriding through the tires. That's going to cause issues in BeamNG. And then we get something that looks like this. That does not look like a GT car. That looks like a Lancer, and I'm pretty sure that's the car built here. The only thing that makes it not a Lancer, of course, is that. That's definitely not makes it a Lancer. All right, we're going to stick with manual because we need to keep our sportability. Unfortunately, there's something called an auto manual. That's stupid. I'm going to skip that. Top speed, 211. Yeah, I probably could get probably a little better than that. But wheels here, we're going to do radial sports compound. Make them nice and big, please. We'll do 225s by 225s. I'm actually going to make my rims a little bit bigger here. I could even go bigger. Like, I'm tempted to go bigger, and I might. But we have to see what kind of brakes we're going to get here. It's 375s. Oh, yeah, those are big brakes. All right. I know you're going to be about 60 or 70. I'm probably going to have to make this one. 375s are very large brakes, like really, really big brakes, like you can see them. All right, so this is important. Obviously, we need ourselves a little bit of downforce here, but wouldn't be, so you can see, it looks like none of these are positive downforce. We'll get that engineering later on, but for now, we can just want to reduce drag where we can. So that's going to be pretty good for us. Brake airflow, of course. Interior, it's a GT car, so it's going to be handmade, and it's going to be luxury CD. They're just really nice CDs. They're like laser discs, but CDs. You know exactly what I mean. Coming over here, electric. We're going to do ESC. We're going to do advanced 1990s technology. We're going to shift some of the weight to the back. Suspension, we have active sports suspension now. And we have semi-active. We can press normal. Fix the sway bars for the 500th time. And get ready to fix brakes. Ready, fix brakes. Here we go. Oh, that never happens. How much you want to make a backup brake fade, though? All right, let's see here. Come down just a little bit. I'm guessing, I'm not sure what it's going to be yelling at me about. Car's low capacity is low. Oh, my springs aren't stiff enough. That's never been a problem for us. All right, stiffen up a little bit. You got to be careful, though, because we need it. Is this the first vehicle we've ever made that actually works? This is terrifying. I love this. All right, let's go ahead and pin these two, and I'll take a look at GT, see how we're doing. All right, sportability. Drivability is way better than the competitor. My sportiness is fantastic. It could be a little bit better on prestige. Prestige is a little difficult to get. It's one of those values that you can't quite get. Safety, fine. Practicality. This thing is a practicality. Who are you kidding? Let's see here. So our only mistake here is prestige. And prestige is a tough one to get, believe it or not. And that'd be something we'd have to really fit with. Notice, by the way, our cornering G's is 1.06 here. This thing is incredible. All right, let's go to our testing page. We'll go down to the test track, and I'll let it rip around. I think we have to be like, what, 208? That's sounded terrible. But we got 208, so it's just as fast as the previous generation. All right, so one more thing we have to do, which I always forget to do because I always forget to do it, is we got to come back here and got to fix this a little bit here. Right now, we're pretty good. Just have to bring down the rear angle a little bit so I can improve our aerodynamics just a touch. And again, it's just little things like this really do make a difference. So go ahead and do that. And all we're trying to do is balance the aerodynamics a little bit here. So I'm going to go bring this down a little bit. Increase this just a tiny bit. And that's pretty good. Not bad. So now we have a nice even aerodynamic split. When you do that, by the way, you're going to have to come back here and you're going to have to fix this because chances are this got busted at some point as well. And that's it. There's one more thing I want to do, though. And this is going to be very scandalous, but I'm going to reduce my brake area. I knew that was going to happen. 55, 60? 60? All right, 60 is the magic number today. And now we're ready to export this car. This is one of the few cars we've ever made that actually doesn't have a bunch of angry things about it. So there it is. It is, look at the size of the brakes. This is going to be nice. This is going to be nice. Well, this thing's cute. Doesn't sound good. All right, I admit it. What? Yeah, that's not supposed to look like that. But I put it's a couple little things to make it a little better. All right, let's do it. Oh man, all this thing needs. This thing is one dual clutch transmission away from a supercar. That's excellent. I can't. Okay, so the red line on this thing is so ridiculous. Oh, I should slow down a lot more. Why do I not slow down more for that corner? Whee! It just goes nee. Okay, this thing is sweet. Like we've made some good cars, but this is like the first one we've made that's actually like. Not bad. The 1980s version was actually really well as well. I was very impressed with the handling. But this thing, it's definitely a race car, but it's practical. Like, I know I'm doing 165 here. It's very much the power that it claims to be. But this is, like, easy to drive. Like, it just goes. Like, I think that also helps because you have all those electronic stability aids that come with the 1990s cars. But, man, this thing is just, like, this is pleasant. I could drive this thing all day. Oh, of course, I always say that right as I crash. Because, of course, it's the moment of going slow. I can actually make a comment or something like that, but that's okay. So the power on this thing is a lot. Like, there's no hesitation to get this thing going. Really, I hate to say this, but the new weak point in this thing is the transmission. It's not that the transmission is, like, bad or anything like that. It's just the fact of the matter is that it takes a long time to change gears. Like, you're probably sitting there going, that's a standard. They're pretty quick. Well, let's be honest, folks. It takes a half a second to change gears with a standard. And if you had a nice flappy paddle, a sequential that we'll see in the early noughts, I'm sure, it would just be better. And like, again, not bad, not bad. Suspension-wise, fantastic. Electronic stability aids, fantastic. It's got the power, it's got the handling. This is truly, I think, the most GT car we've made. It really, as I smash it again, it really is a good combination of extreme performance, but it's obviously mine doesn't have any body work on the inside or anything like that. Oh my gosh! So the problem I'm having now is this thing is so fast, it doesn't feel fast. I know that sounds like what? But it just you don't feel it. Like I'm doing 100 miles an hour like that. I mean, if we sat up here, I'm sure. Oh, that's a different sensation. Oh, taking the scenic route. Oh, it just needs a better transmission. The very high red line on this, by the way, is the word I'm gonna use is comical. The reason I say that is like it just doesn't do anything for it. Like it doesn't improve anything for us. We do have power up there, of course, and plenty of torque, but it's like it just feels so wrong. It's so wrong. I love this. Like this is the first vehicle we've made that can actually do that corner in like a normal amount of effort. Yep, I think we found a winner. Like, this is, when we get to the conclusions video, either this one or the one that's going to precede it is going to be the winner here, because this is just incredible. It's so easy to drive. Like, if I need to slow down, I tap the brake a little bit, and then I just get right back on the power. Like, no. I guess not. Whee! I didn't need that mirror anyway. Oh boy, we're bent. You've got some aero damage. So my driving ability here is the weak point of this vehicle. And suspension, It's good, but really, we just need a better transmission. Keep the all-wheel drive, keep the engine, get a better transmission, and I think we will have the perfect GT car. But other than that, enjoy.